So, for y'all who are not familiar with Sage Steele, let me just find a little tab of him real quick. Of Miss Sage Steele. That's Sage Steele. All right. Beautiful woman. All right. She used to work for ESPN. I'm not going to get into too much of a personal life, a married life, relevant right here. Relevant. All right. But Sage Steele had something to say about Kamala Harris, Obama, and the rest of the Democrats. Now, I'm neutral. I just want what's best for, first and foremost, Black Americans, so-called Black Americans. I want what's best for Black people or so-called Black people as a whole and people of the whole country. I just want what's best. All right. So, Sage Steele was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it 100. Let me talk about your girl. Okay, let's check this video out real quick.
Sage Steele is the host of the Sage Steele Show podcast. It's great to have you on the show. The marijuana stuff always gets to me. So I want you to listen to a little bit more of that from the Breakfast Club yesterday.
I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases and would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. And as vice president, have been a champion for bringing marijuana down on the schedule. My pledge is
the most progressive. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's that shit right there. Boys, that shit right there. This is that shit right there, boy. Because let's make this a little bigger pause. We can all read, right? Kamala Harris urges Black men to vote for her to legalize weed despite convicting 1,900 as DA. 1,900. First things first, right? First things first. Black people ain't the only people that smoke weed. All right? And let's not talk about all the other narcotic that other Americans are on. If she was trying to reach out to voters in Idaho to be local state government, will she talk about legalizing meth? I don't know. I don't know. But this is just offending, period. But she said in that Breakfast Club clip, and by the way, she was on Breakfast Club when she was running for president, and she laughed about weed and said, I used to smoke a little weed. I don't find looking for the clip, but I mean, most of y'all seen it. I used to smoke a little bit of weed and then laughed about it. Meanwhile, she locked up 1,900 people. She was the San Francisco district attorney between 2004 to 2011, so almost 10 years. See, rest of it right here. Harris, 59, made the statement as she prepared for an afternoon interview with radio host Charlamagne Tha God, on whose program she claimed in 2019 she had smoked marijuana in college, inviting allegations of hypocrisy over her prosecutorial record. So talking about she's gonna legalize, like, what do you like? And she's here meeting with a whole bunch of so-called Black men. They looking all kind of. Listen, these 1, 2, 3, these 5 dudes, this dude, they don't represent Black men. They don't represent Black men. All right. They don't represent black men at all. All right, let's go back to the clip of her talking that bullshit.
More of that from the Breakfast Club yesterday.
I was the most progressive prosecutor in California on marijuana cases and would not send people to jail for simple possession of weed. And as vice president, have been a champion for bringing marijuana down on the schedule.
It said 1900, right? 1900 is what it said, right? Convicting 1900. So she's talking about simple possession. So these were 1900 drug lords? Were they 1900 drug lords?
Pledges as president, I will work on decriminalizing it because I know exactly how those laws have been used to disproportionately impact certain populations and specifically black men.
Is that a burning issue in the community, Sage?
You was a part of the problem. Taste this still now from Sage tip.
Well, first and foremost, I don't want to claim to be speaking for the Black community, that's for sure. I do think it's such a diverse community, right, with the way we think, our experiences, but I have been out and about a lot, whether it was at the J.D. Vance Town Hall in Reading, Pennsylvania the other day. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina with voters yesterday, and Atlanta last week with the Women for Trump team. Not one person, Black man or woman, who has come up to me has mentioned that at all. It is more about where have the Democrats been in general for us over the last 4 years, actually 16 years since Obama came in office. Literally,
since Obama came in office. People said I was crazy when I was talking about how Obama ain't do hardly anything for black people, but I was looked at as crazy, you feel me? I was looked at as crazy. Like, I'll get back to Sage Steele, right? I'll get back to that, but just Kamala's, like, her record, like, forget the prosecution shit. She's been the biggest flip-flopper. Like, she's one of the biggest flip-floppers ever. Ever. Like, ever. Let's check some more of this stuff out, yo. Like,
California families say that history and the impact on their lives deserves scrutiny as she runs for president. One of Harris's first major controversies happened just months after she was elected San Francisco district attorney. In 2004, police officer Isaac Espinoza was gunned down by a gang member.
There you go.
Just 29, he was a young father and devoted husband to Renata Espinoza, who had to identify his body in the hospital.
I remember I walk into this room and he still had blood here. He was laying there with
the death penalty against Espinoza.
Blood here. And I walked over to him and I was just like, wake up.
Harris publicly announced she would not seek the death penalty against Espinoza's killer, keeping a campaign promise despite furious political pressure.
Life without possibility of parole is a severe consequence.
All right, there you have it. She was not trying to convict near nobody. Near nobody. Well, not convict, excuse me, give them the death. Now, I'm a big believer in an eye for an eye. All right? But I think being a person that was in law enforcement, if you're a person that kills a cop, you better believe 99% of prosecutors, DAs, whatever, you get the death penalty, bro. So now, if that's what you believe in, like Kamala, that's what she believed in, right? So that's what you believe in, stick with that shit. But no, she gonna flip-flop in true Kamala fashion.
But a decade later, as California's Attorney General, Harris defended capital punishment. When a judge found the state's death penalty to be unconstitutional, Harris and her team called the decision fundamentally misguided in a court briefing. Officer Espinosa's widow spoke to CNN in 2019, calling it a reversal driven by politics.
Are you going to be for the people? Are you going to be for yourself? Are you really being you?
Should we be talking about some of this flip-flopping?
I think it's fair to talk about flip-flopping. I think that's what makes America great.
Brendan Woods, it's Alameda County's.
Nah, homie, flip-flopping don't make America great. I'll tell you that one right now. Right now. Flip-flopping don't make anything great, as a matter of fact. You stand on business, you stand on what you said, you stand on principle when you say something. All right? That's not even it. That's not the end of it. That's not even the end of it. That's not flip-flop. Hold on 1 second. Let me hide that real quick. That's not even the end. That's not the end of it. Check out how she looking at her. She's looking like, nigga, what the fuck you talking about, nigga? So that's how speaking on truancy. I remember that. So you see, this is the thing that came up when she's running for president. These truancy laws. Like, as a black man, my damn mic. As a black man, I'm looking at black news first and foremost. Obviously, she's locking up a lot of mothers. I've seen a lot of mothers out there with bonnets in their heads, but she's locking up all kinds of people in Cali. All right, all kinds of people in Cali. She was locking up. Oh shit! I think I may have had that muted. Hold on, my fault. I may have that shit muted. Let's see. My bugging. Hold on.
Attorney General, Harris promoted enforcement of a law that allowed prosecutors to seek jail time for parents of truant kids.
If you fail to take responsibility for your kids, we are going to make sure that you face the full force and consequences of the law.
I thought that was crazy. I was like, how can you lock parents up?
I opened the door and I see at least 7 or 8.
So she's locking parents up, bro. She ain't asking no questions. If your kid was late to school, missed school, she locking you up. But I'm gonna skip that little family right there. All right, hold on. Because I just want to show you the flip-flop. Like, just show you the flip-flopping, all right?
Still haunts them to this day.
Impacted every aspect of my life, everything.
Harris acknowledged the problems with that truancy law she once championed when she ran for president in 2019.
In some jurisdictions, DAs have criminalized the parents.
Right.
And I regret that that has happened, and that the thought that anything that I did.
She said some. Bitch, too much yourself. The fuck?
Could have led to that, because that certainly was not the intention. Never was the intention.
I don't think you can consider that an unintended consequence because she created the law.
Harris's prosecutorial history is long and complicated for those lives who've been touched by it. And it should all be reviewed and weighed, says Woods.
I think people can have.
Bro. Like, so this is the kind of flip-flopper we're dealing with here. So when you think about all that stuff, like I said, you can vote for who you want to vote for. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. But you just think about all that stuff. And just go back to the Sage Steele to finish saying what she was saying. But I don't believe nothing Kamala say, bro. Nothing. She could be giving me food and a drink of water, saying, "Here, take this food. It's good, healthy food." Yada yada yada. I still ain't gonna believe her. Still ain't gonna believe it, bro.
Over the last 4 years, actually 16 years since Obama came in office, literally, Dana, not one person has mentioned marijuana to me. It's about jobs. It's about actually seeing a difference in our communities in other ways. And some of the other things Kamala Harris talked about with Charlemagne the God yesterday, and with prison and releasing criminals or treating them differently when she was out in California. Those are the concerns, jobs, the basic stuff that, by the way, isn't just a Black concern. It's an American concern. And she continues.
Like Sage Steele said this now. Nobody's talking about marijuana. We don't give a fuck about no damn marijuana, man.
To try to divide, but the pot thing, I'm with you. It's comical.
Well, Barack Obama last week had a pretty strong message toward African-American men. Do you see that as a problem in 2024?
Bill, honestly, it actually broke my heart because to me, it was so blatant as to what it was. First of all, it really was a scolding. And again, that's something that there was a man in a parking lot that we were talking to yesterday. We had the Trump bus out there and he came up and he said, I can't repeat what he said actually. And
he cursed Obama's ass out. But y'all don't know what Obama said. Check this shit out. In case one of y'all underneath a rock. Oh shit, I mean, I forgot to put the shit on the goddamn screen. But like I said, for y'all been living underneath a rock with Obama's comments. All right, here you go.
A state he won twice, delivering a blunt message to Black voters.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. I'm speaking to men directly. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
A fresh...
Bruh, who gives a fuck about a woman president? If you could do the job, you could do the job. My opinion, I don't think ain't no woman should be leading the country. That's just my opinion. Kill me, sue me. We see how it is when women run a household, let alone the goddamn country. But likely Black support for Harris, 8 and 10 voters. Anybody, they don't care about Kamala. They don't nobody care about no Kamala, bro. Don't nobody care about Kamala, bro. That's real.
he was livid. He said, why is he talking down to us? Don't scold us. Where have you been? Coming off of Martha's Vineyard and then lecturing us when it's convenient. So to me, it is very disturbing. The problem is he and they have gotten away with this kind of rhetoric for years. It's just that now they haven't been able to back anything up. And now you come in at the very last second, right? 3 weeks before the election. And now you all of a sudden are going to tell us how to vote? Stop it. And to me, I was refreshed, I think, you guys, to hear these voters, happen to be Black men and women who I was talking to yesterday, say, no, we're not idiots. We see what you're doing. We see your timing. Back off.
One of the things that happened yesterday, there was record turnout.
Yeah, so Kamala, Obama. Obama just ran for his fellow non-American melanated person. To be honest with you, that's what it looked like he doing. Dead ass, yo. But let me ask y'all a question out there. I'm a foundational melanated American who will play on Tariq Nasheed's words. But I never voted before. I never voted. I'm voting now. This year, I'm voting. And let me ask y'all a question. Let me know in the comments. Who do y'all think the next president's gonna be? Don't tell me who you voting for. But I'm probably gonna do a poll. All right. Who do you think the next president's gonna be? Do you think Obama's comments were out of line? Do y'all really believe in Kamala? Come on. Crazy. Nah, that was a video, because as you can see, Miss Steele made them taste the steel. All right. It's KJ Media 100. I'm out. Peace.